Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 4 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here today to talk about getting others to get it, or just generally the concept of communication. How do we make sure that we're really communicating with another and they're communicating with us? Matter of fact, I chose this particular topic based on a quote that I ran across recently by George Bernard Shaw. He says, "The problem with communication is the illusion that it occurred." I love that because I think it really speaks to how so many of us find ourselves having problems with communication. We tell someone something, we think they got it, they might even nod their head or say they got it, and then they go do something that shows they didn't get it at all. We go, hello, didn't you get it? What? Or I think it's fair to say that sometimes someone tells us something. We think we got it, we might even let them know, and then we go do something and they come back and say, "What were you thinking? I thought I told you." And then it becomes a debate about who's right. Well, you said this. Well, no, you said this. Well, you must have meant this. And here we go. So given that misunderstanding or a lack of really clear communication is probably at the root of 90% of the conflicts that we experience in our life, I suggest we get really good at this and not move forward based on some illusion that communication has occurred. I think it's going to be really important for us to find a way to ensure that what we were wanting to communicate has been received and understood. By the same token, I think it's going to be really important for us to be able to understand others. What are they truly wanting us to know? Are we really getting it? And how can we confirm that? Now, one of the ways of doing that, and everybody hates it, is the concept of paraphrasing. You know, someone tells you something and you say, "So let me make sure I understood what you said. You said this and this and this." And it's kind of awkward and it's unfamiliar and nobody really likes it. That's the bad news. The good news is we can become good at that in a way where it actually improves our ability to be influential with others and others' ability to be influential with us, or at the very least, have us be able to truly understand what someone is wanting us to know. Now, one of the things we want to make sure we're doing during this process of understanding is make the distinction between understanding and agreement. We really do want to understand what someone is telling us. We want them to understand what we're telling them. Now, whether they agree with it or whether we agree with it, that's a whole nother issue. I'm a big fan of separating those. Because if someone tells me that they don't like how I'm being and I'm making them mad, well, hey, I can understand that if they believe I'm making them mad, how that would be upsetting. I wouldn't want them to feel good about the fact that they believe I'm making them mad. Now, of course, I'm not meaning to make them mad. That's not my intent. I'm being misunderstood to some degree, but if I were just to tell them, "Well, you're just clearly misunderstanding me," they wouldn't say, "Thank you for sharing." Oh no, and here we are debating about who's right again. So I'm going to suggest this process of communication as we go forward shouldn't be a debate about who's right. It should be about our goal to make sure that what we're wanting them to know is being clearly communicated and clearly understood. And what other people are talking to us about. We want to make sure we understand it, so then we might have a conversation about whether indeed we agree with it and what we can do differently in the future. Paraphrasing is one of the ways to do that. What you don't want to do, however, if someone comes up to you and says, "I'm feeling really angry and frustrated," please do not say, "I hear you're feeling angry and frustrated." That doesn't tell them anything other than you've learned how to parrot back what they're saying. You want to say, "Okay, go on. I see that anger. I see that frustration. Tell me more about that. What are you upset about?" So you want to know what they're wanting you to know. Once you have that information, you can begin to combine it with yours. The key here is always make sure you are combining your information and their information in terms of something to do or think about or agree upon in the future. Don't get caught in a debate about who said what or who was right in the past. How would you have us do this differently in the future? How would you have me do what I do differently in the future? Now, that doesn't mean you have to do it, but at least now you know exactly what they're looking for. And the potential that some of that, at least, is something that you can agree with and actually have them now more open to hearing what you have to say is huge. So, what I'm encouraging you to do is just be careful, full of care, about going into a situation, saying something, having somebody nod their head, and assuming that communication has occurred. Check it out. Ask them what they heard you say or what they understood you to say. I think you're going to get wonderful, valuable information. And when someone's telling you something, if you want to make sure you got it, say, let me just make sure I got it, and tell them back what you heard. And if they go, yep, that's it, now communication has really occurred. And you both can move forward in a way where misunderstanding will not cloud the relationship. I hope you're finding these videos valuable. I'm having a wonderful time bringing them to you. If you do, please hit the like button and please tell your friends. You know, one of the things I find is when a friend recommends one of my videos or my YouTube channel or a Facebook page to another friend. That's always very meaningful to me. Of course, I am a speaker, I am a corporate trainer, do a lot of that, so if you want me to come and create a presentation for your organization or professional association, all you got to do is go to my website, billcrawfordphd.com, hit the contact button. I'd love to speak with you about that. Or if you want to work with me as a psychologist, life coach, whatever you want to call me, again, go to the website. If you forget the name of the website, just Google Bill Crawford. I'll come up on the first page. And hit the contact button. Let me know what you're interested in. And again, I'd love to talk with you about that. In the meantime, here's to you bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity into your communication so that it actually does happen and you can move forward in a successful way. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.